You know, the really frustrating thing sometimes with wine is that it takes a special tool to open it. And there are so many variations of wine openers out there. So I'm going to walk through a couple different ones. Some I like, some I don't, but you know, there's different tools for everyone. The first one is kind of the straightforward pull tab opener. Another name for this is the waiter's friend, because you see every waiter everywhere has got these in their pockets. And when I open it, the first thing I'm going to do actually is cut the foil below the bottom lip there. I know some people like to cut the top or just pull the cork straight out through the foil. Don't do that. You know, there's one of the reasons that we cut the foil like this is based on tradition, because it used to be that wine bottles were actually sealed with lead foil. So that was pretty dangerous stuff. But the other reason we cut it low is just to make sure that we have that nice clean edge, and that top lip acts as a little bit of a drip stop. And then you're also making sure that the whole top of the bottle is clean. So now, after doing that, I'm going to pull out the corkscrew part, just work the corkscrew down into the bottle. And nice thing about this is it's got a little tab on it, so I can push the tab in, pull out that cork halfway, and then use the bottom tab to pull it out the rest of the way. Boom. Really easy, really simple. I like this style of wine opener because you can take them anywhere. So if you're going on a picnic, it's not too hard to make sure you've got one of these guys in your arsenal of tools. The next style of wine opener I'm going to talk about is this guy. And I know everybody's parents have these in their drawers. And yeah, I know these are pretty simple and they take a little bit less sort of know-how and strength or finesse than the classic waiter's friend. You know what I don't like about these? Is that they just kind of bore a hole right through the center of the cork. So yeah, it's not that difficult, I suppose, but you know, it just takes a little bit more maneuvering. And you know, once I've gotten that out, now the problem with this too is that my cork's got a big hole in the end of it. So I actually don't really like these wine openers very much, but I know that there's a lot of people who still use these. There's a reason why they still sell them. So you know, whatever gets the cork out, I guess that works just fine. The next wine opener I'm going to talk about is the Rabbit, and this has been just really a wildly successful wine opener that has really only been around for maybe 10 or 15 years. Really beautiful design. I'm seeing a lot of these sort of replacing the old-fashioned two-arm wine opener, again, because of the ease. And with this guy, it's pretty straightforward. You clamp it onto the top of the bottle, and boom, that's it. Really, really simple. So great, especially if you've got issues with your wrists or with arthritis and you want something that's like super fast to open up bottles with. Of course, it's also a bit big, so picnic-wise, probably not so appropriate, but it sure is good looking. Now I'm going to go to a new level of geeky with you and talk about an also. So ausos are really great. Lots of sommeliers like to use them, particularly with older bottles of wine, because these two prongs go actually onto either side of the cork. And what's really cool about this is that it's a great way to pull a cork out all in one piece. There's no hole in the middle. So if you're dealing with older bottles of wine in particular, this is really helpful because those corks get crumbly. You have to be kind of careful. It takes some practice. If you're not very comfortable with it, you can accidentally just shove the whole cork into the bottle as well. But you see how there's one side that's a little bit longer. So you're going to work that first in between the cork and the edge of the bottle, and then just slowly work both of those prongs down the side of the bottle like that, and then just twist it out. Boom, there you are. One absolutely perfect cork, no hole in it. This next one is very high tech, and there are some people who are super excited about Coravins, and for other people it doesn't really make sense. So you're probably asking yourself, should I have a Coravin? Well, here's the thing. With Coravins, it's really great because this is actually a needle that goes in through the cork and pushes argon into the bottle and then forces the wine out through that needle. And then after you pull it out, the bottle can sit there for a long time. So if you're somebody who maybe likes to have a glass of wine here or there, or likes to have a variety of wines. Say you've got 7 different wines and you want to have a little glass here and there of all these different ones over the course of a couple of months, then a Coravin is great. However, they're expensive, and the little gas canisters are also very expensive. So if you're buying bottles of wine that aren't very expensive, and if you're typically somebody who drinks the whole bottle, don't use a Coravin. It's also really great if you've got something that's old. So say you want to age your bottle of Barrel Reserve and you want to see how it's progressing over time, you can use the Coravin and go in once a year and pull out a little half glass and see if it's ready to go. So the way a Coravin works is you clamp the top onto the bottle like that, push down, and then now we're going to force air into the bottle. And you'll see when I let go, that air that's being forced into the bottle is actually now, because it's pressurized, there's wine coming out into the glass. And that's it. Very simple, expensive, a bit cumbersome, but like I said, it's really cool because I can come back to this in a few months and the wine is perfectly good. I'll tell you right now, it's also pretty good. Good luck opening your next bottle of wine and know that there's a lot of options out there for you.